The Lumix GH5 is no doubt an amazing camera which has everything you would need as a content creator, from being able to shoot 10-bit 422, which is my favorite thing about the camera, to being able to record up to 6K resolution. What more can you literally ask for? But wait, as amazing as this GH5 is, there are several problems a lot of GH5 users would have encountered or currently going through, myself included, which is its footage encoding that makes it a hassle to work with. But that's in the past now, because in this video I'm gonna outline all the problems I have faced using this camera for talking head videos like this one, and solutions that I've also found after multiple days of digging the internet and reading through forums. So let's talk about it. Hello there, my name is King Tech. I'm a creative, and on this channel we talk about everything tech related, from gadget reviews to unboxing to tech tips and tricks and freelance tips as well. And if you're interested in such topics, kindly subscribe to this channel and let's be friends. Okay, the GH5 was released way back in 2017, of which to many people might seem dated at this point, but that's not true, at least for the GH5. It can still compete with cameras in the market today and win, because this camera packs a punch. Of course, no camera is perfect, as there are definitely some trade-offs, but at its price tag of about $500 on eBay, we can't complain. Anyways, this is not a GH5 review, or am I trying to sell you the GH5, because chances are if you're watching this video, you probably already have the GH5 or picked it up newly, so you already know all its amazingness. But if by any chance you're thinking of a camera to pick up for content creation, the truth is you cannot go wrong with the GH5, I promise you that. Anyways, I've had this camera for about 2 months now, coming from the ZV-E10, which was an amazing video first beginner's camera, by the way. I mean, I created a jack ton of videos with that camera, but at some point I could no longer deal with its 8-bit footage anymore after using it for about a year. So I started researching for a camera that could record 10-bit 422. I was really particular about 10-bit because I knew the struggle I had with trying to grade or trying to get a certain look with 8-bit footage. If you've been there, you know what I mean. And also I was looking for a camera that wouldn't break the bank. The ones I found within Sony's lineup were the A7000 and the FX30. They were both APS-C cameras because I already had some lens I initially used on the ZV-E10, but they were still far above what I was comfortable spending on a camera at the time, as I wasn't yet making any money from these videos. Well, eventually I think I stumbled on a video of someone talking about the GH5, and I looked into the camera some more and I loved it. So I ordered one. Best day of my life. It was so exciting, finally having a 10-bit camera. After the excitement wore off and I started making videos with the GH5, that was when my nightmares began. The first issue I ran into was that the GH5 footage would literally crash my favorite player, which is VLC Media Player, or any other player on my computer for that matter. That was my #1 frustration. I mean, how am I going to preview what I just shot? In addition to that, as though that wasn't enough, the GH5 footage does not display thumbnails because of its codecs, of course. That was somewhat of an issue too, because I want to be able to know which footage is which just from looking at the thumbnails, you know, on my computer. The last most frustrating one was that Premiere Pro, which is the editor I've been using almost all my life, could not play back the GH5 footage smoothly, which meant I wouldn't be able to edit the videos I just shot. Come on now. And not like I have a slow computer. I mean, I use a HP ZBook workstation with about 48 GB of RAM and almost 3 TB of SSD storage, so you can understand better where my frustration is coming from. Well, of course, unless you want to always create proxies before editing or shoot at 8-bit 420 colors, then that would work, I think. But I don't want to do that because I bought this camera because it can shoot 10-bit. I promise you, the first week of getting this camera, I was almost already regretting why I bought this camera. Because of these problems, it felt like the GH5 was unusable. Anyways, after watching multiple videos and reading through forums for possible solutions, because in my head I just couldn't imagine such camera that has been spoken so much about having these problems, or its users actually having to live with these problems. But then finally I found some solutions that worked for me. Some people said that the GH5 footage plays smoothly in Final Cut Pro, which is an editor that is only available on MacBooks, and I don't have a Mac, so I have to look for a solution for PC. And if you're in such fix like myself, then this is the solutions to all of your problems, and so you can enjoy your Gh5 to the fullest. Well, first off, to have a thumbnail preview of your Gh5 footage or any 10-bit footage at that, you want to download this app called Icaros. Shout out to the developers of this lightweight software. I mean, it gets the job done. So just go to this website or Google Icaros and click on the first link. I will also have a link in the description of this video so you don't have to go through all that stress. Anyways, after installation, you want to open the software and activate thumbnailing, and your Gh5 footage or 10-bit footage basically will now have a preview. With that out of the way, the next problem is playing the Gh5 footage, right? Well, one solution I found was, in order to play the Gh5 footage or 10-bit footages in VLC, well, first off, open VLC, go to Tools, Preference, select Video, and under video settings you want to change the output to OpenGL video output, and your 10-bit footages from your Gh5 would play back smoothly in VLC. That works fine, but then I noticed that VLC gets glitchy sometimes when I try to play normal videos. Sometimes it appears all washed up. It just doesn't behave normal after you've changed such settings. So I'll show you a better solution. So go back to settings and change that back to what it was previously. Now, after you've done that, let's go and download this player called Media Player Classic MPC. The link is in the description. This should play your Gh5 footage with no problems whatsoever. So how I have this set up is that I shoot in MOV instead of MP4. I set my Gh5 to shoot in MOV, and I set this player we just downloaded now, I set it to open all MOV files, to play only MOV files. So MP4 files will still be played by VLC and every other player, but MOV files will be opened specifically in this player, so you don't have to deal with all that glitchiness all the time. Now, how you can do that is,
you want to right click on an MOV video, come to open with, and then come way down to choose another app. I already have it selected here as default app, but sometimes you would find it here or you wouldn't find it here. If you do not find it here, what you want to select, you want to come way down to choose an app on your PC, and then go to your C drive and look for MPC, I guess. Yeah, and look for MPC, and you should find it here. You select it, and when you do select it, you'll come here and click always. So after you selected, assume you are selected, and then click always, and then you see that the icon beside it, if it was VLC, it changes to this 321 icon.
This way, whenever you double click on it on your Gh5 footage or an MOV footage, it will open in this player and not by any other player. Hence, you can just use your computer normal, no problems. Anyways, before we continue, if you're finding value in this video so far, do well to subscribe to this channel and drop a like on this video too. Thanks for that. Now, for the solution to the final problem we've had about being able to edit your Gh5 footage in Premiere Pro, you might have to always create proxies and whenever you want to edit, because that way Premiere Pro will create an easier file type that it can handle and play back smoothly, so you wouldn't have a problems with editing with proxies. But the problem I had with this solution is that I'll have to wait for proxies generation to complete when I ought to be editing. I mean, I just want to open Premiere or open my editor of choice and just edit, no having to wait for anything, because of course, you know, there are times where you're in the mood to edit. Anyways, if you don't have a problem with actually creating projects before editing, then this solution will work fine for you. Another solution would be to shoot in 8-bit, like I mentioned previously. I found that 8-bit footage plays back smoothly within Premiere, so that can work. But I bought the Gh5 primarily to shoot 10-bit, so no, or at least not for me. But the solution I currently use is switching to a different editor, in this case DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, to begin with, is an amazing editor that can play back Gh5 footage smoothly, and the best part is it's free. The issue with this solution is that you would have to learn a new editor, like I did, fortunately and unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at it. It took me a while to get used to DaVinci Resolve because it was quite different from Premiere. But when I eventually did, trust me, I didn't want to use Premiere anymore because it did a lot of things better than Premiere than I ever thought. It was really a struggle finding all of this solution because I didn't find one video on YouTube explaining all of these things, so I decided to make one. Well, I hope this helped in some way. So if you have any questions or facing any further challenges, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any topics you want me to make a video on, also let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.